naked mole rat, that's cool. I just showered, feeling fresh. I did go to the gym this morning. The class that I go to is just so packed, so it's hard to get footage, and I feel like I've shared enough with you lately. Today, what I really need to focus on, now that I'm home, is getting stuff ready around the house. Not ready for anything, but just settled. My laundry, for one, it's gonna be a laundry day. I know how some of you feel about that. Excited! But I haven't done laundry in like 2 weeks. I don't know, it's been forever. I've got Mount Everest happening in there, and I need to do it with you. My fridge, if you saw my grocery haul. Good times, good times. The glass should be in today. Who the heck knows though, because there is a big hurricane coming, which if you're in the path, I hope you are staying safe or stayed safe, depending on what part of the path you're in, whether it's come to you or not. Helene is what I'm talking about. And I'm in Tampa, so I mean, no one really knows that it could change on a dime. We've seen it happen before. But where I am living in Florida, we'll probably get like tropical storm style weather, rain, lots of wind. We're not in like a direct path, so we might lose power. That's just the reality of living in Florida. Alex and I have lived here our whole lives, and if you live in Florida, if you've lived here for an extended period of time, I'm sure you know of Dennis Phillips, my absolute favorite meteorologist. He's my go-to man. He's not dramatic. He tells it as it is. If you need to get out, he'll tell you. So I've been following his updates, and actually the kids' school is closed today, at the end of today, and then also tomorrow. So meaning today was gonna be a packed day. We had a track meet, we had, wait, what did we have? Oh, no, soccer. Soccer is still happening from what I understand, but usually there are two, okay, so usually, do you need to know all the details? Usually there's a lot going on, 4 things. Now there is only 1 thing. So it took a lot off of my plate, and it's looking like I have plenty of time to get some stuff done around the house, which is nice. Can't forget to hydrate through it all. I'm finishing up my element from the day. I threw it in here, and I actually forgot what kind I got. Today I had a little bit of the citrus salt element, mostly because I need to order more / restock my little hydration station drawer, because I do have more. Oh, should I do that today? Clean under my stairs. Well, listen, no promises. That I should do that so I can restock my hydration station with all of my Element. And this video is kindly sponsored by Element. Huge thanks to them for supporting me. Massive thanks to you for supporting me when I have sponsored content. It really means a lot, and there's always a deal involved for you as well if you're interested. I love these little hydration drink mixes from Element. They're so fantastic. They're packed with the perfect science-backed ratio of potassium, magnesium, and sodium to make sure I am hydrated all day long. I throw 1 little packet into like 25 ounces of water. You can dilute it more or less depending on like the saltiness that you desire. But I drink it every morning. My top 3 favorite flavors are watermelon salt, raspberry salt with a squirt of lime juice in there, impeccable, and then the citrus salt. And what's really fun is that they have chocolatey flavors. I think there's a salted caramel and then a chocolate, and fall's coming up, so if you live in an area where it gets cooler, those drinks you can drink hot while also getting all of the benefits of the sodium, potassium, and magnesium combo. And everyone should be drinking some kind of electrolyte drink mix. It's not just for athletes, it's for everybody. And what I love the most about Element over any other brand is that it does have that trio of ingredients, but it also is without any junk, so no artificial colors, no artificial ingredients, no fillers, no gluten, no sugar, only the good stuff in this packet. It helps with so many things. It helps rebuild muscle. It helps with hormonal regulation, nutrient absorption, fluid balance, nerve impulses. It could also help eliminate headaches if that's something that you deal with. It could also help eliminate muscle cramps, fatigue, and sleepiness. I'm telling you, there's so much stuff happening in this sweet little packet of Element. I'm just scratching the surface. They have so much more information on their website, a lot of science-backed research, and it's just really interesting to learn about our bodies. Or at least I think it's interesting. So I should also mention it's great if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. Not only is it safe, it's really great for you because it has all of those nutrients packed in there. And specifically, if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, you're gonna lose a lot of those nutrients, and this is a great way to get it back into your body. It tastes great. So if you're interested, you can check out my link in the description box below, drinkelement.com/thewads. It's drinklmnt.com/thewads, and you can get a free sample pack. It has all of the flavors, so you can try them all out and then decide which one you like the most. The best part is you can try it risk-free. There's a no questions asked return policy, so you got nothing to lose, only stuff to gain. This stuff is super delicious too. Okay, I'm gonna fill up my water and then I will try to get some stuff done around the house, okay? I don't even know where to start, I'm overwhelmed. I'm over here filling up my drink and stuff, and of course, out of the corner of my sneaky little eye, I see a little package with some crumble in it. A couple of things I have to say about this, and actually it just sparked more that I wanted to share with you. You know, how am I gonna get stuff done around here? Hey, did you know Crumble Cookie is having their like birthday week or something? So I was out with Avelina last night. Short story long here, but we were out and about, and next to a Crumble Cookie, man, I've never seen that place so packed. So that was kind of crazy, but also, have you tried the sugar cookie? It's dangerous.
It's especially dangerous for those of you with an almond allergy, like my daughter Avelina, so that was fun.
But what I wanted to say was Target has a Halloween costume. I think it's a box of the crumble cookie, you know? I haven't seen it myself, but someone told me about it. And I have no idea what we're gonna be for Halloween. I feel like we have plenty of time to decide. But speaking of Halloween, I have been scouring Pinterest, and I shared it on my Instagram and I mentioned it in the grocery haul, but if you didn't see that, I will tell you again. Let me pull it up here. I have decided 100%, sent out the invitations, and by that I mean we texted everyone. I used to do paper invitations. What am I even talking about? I'll get there when I get there. We used to send out paper invitations, and I thought, this is it, like everyone. But then people were like, oh, I lost it. Can you text me the details? They would call me up, whatever, mostly Alex. And now, we just text everyone. It saves on postage, it saves on paper. Isn't texting amazing? Anyway, I made a little invitation and on Canva. I love Canva. What a great place. I've had people ask me like, oh, how do you use Canva or whatever? So let me just pull it up and I'll give you a 30-second tutorial. Oh, here's Canva. I'm gonna search for Halloween invite. There's gonna be a bunch of templates that come up, and actually, this is so dang cute. I didn't even see this one. Anyway, you can see there are a ton of templates. I think when I searched, I did birthday party. Oh my goodness, look how many options there are. Just take a template, and I found a couple and I just kind of make them my own. I add stuff, I delete stuff. Like this cauldron wasn't there, but I was like, obviously there needs to be a cauldron in here. And here's the little invitation that I make. Our little boo is turning 2. Please join us for Wolfgang's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And so all morning I've just been on Amazon trying to figure out like what I need to order for his birthday party. I say it's kind of last minute. It was a last minute decision to have it. I feel like we need to celebrate every day. It does, like every milestone, every day needs to be celebrated because life. And so I'm really excited that we're gonna do it. He doesn't have any friends. He used to have little friends when he went to like a gymnastics class during, like before summer, but then they closed it for summer and they never opened it back up, and I feel like it's been a year. So I might contact some of those moms and be like, hey, wanna come over? Like, if you're not doing anything, wanna come over and, I don't know, do some crafts with the kiddos, and maybe they'll like have fun bumping into each other and stuff. But otherwise, I feel like it'll be pretty low key. I say that, but then my Amazon cart, uh-oh, let me tell you the damage over here. Oh, just 28 items, that's it. Oh yeah. Some of these are essential to a birthday party. Especially Halloween, like a 5-foot spider. Yes, bingo. This is the biggest hit and a half. But anyway, I've got like 28 items on here. It's, you know, I'll filter it out. So that's been on my mind. And I just remembered, oh my gosh, I can't do laundry right now. Do you know why? Because I need to throw dinner into the crock pot. Not dinner for us. Well, I mean, okay, so I think I'll probably make it for us. I promised Alex that I would make dinner to give to one of his friends whose wife just passed away. It's so tragic. I can't even imagine what he's going through. And I just feel so helpless. I don't know what to do in a situation like that. And so I will provide dinner for the night. I don't even know. So Alex is gonna bring him dinner. and I'm gonna throw it together, but it starts in the crock pot, so I need to get that going before the day gets away from me. I just finished filming a grocery haul, so like I gotta put this stuff away. This is such a quick and easy dinner idea, and it's one of our favorites. It's so delicious. It's sweet pulled pork enchiladas. Starts out with some pork loins, and I was worried whether or not this crock pot would be big enough, but it totally is. I got this from the thrift store. Totally vintage, and sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I want all the, you know, things from the 70s. And then I think, I'm like, maybe I should just keep it streamlined. I should have just bought a black one. I don't know. Anyway, for the pork, if you want to do it by the recipe, I find that it doesn't really make a difference either way. If it made an extravagant amount of difference, I would do it every single time, but you're supposed to cook the pork, just, you know, sear it on the stovetop with, season it with a little bit of salt and pepper, throw it on the stovetop with a little bit of oil, and then just sear it. Sear it on the outside. It's supposed to lock in the juices. I find it doesn't really matter. It has a ton of flavor otherwise, so I just throw it in there. I'm throwing in a can of diced chilies, green chilies, and then a can of red enchilada sauce. Dump that in. I am going to season it since I didn't cook it with the seasoning, so just a little bit of salt and pepper here. And then I'll throw some garlic in for good measure. They are sweet pulled pork enchiladas, and can I tell you, you don't have to make enchiladas. I am going to, but the pork tastes so good on its own. I'm going to add a handful of brown sugar in there. Then, this is the secret ingredient, I feel like, Dr. Pepper. I only buy this for this recipe, and I typically get the 6-pack when it's buy one, get one free from Publix, and then I keep the rest of them in my pantry for when I need to make this. I'm good to go. I don't have to remember to buy soda because that's not something I typically look for. And that is it. I'm gonna give everything a nice mix, make them all friendly in there, cover it, and cook it low and slow. But if you don't have the time, do it on high. I should have probably checked to see if this crock pot worked. I'm just gonna cross my fingers. All right, one thing down, good to go. I'm drowning in laundry. This isn't even the worst of it because this morning, I have no one to blame but myself. This morning, I was going through looking for, you guessed it, a dress for Meredith, one of her school dresses, one of the 3 that she owns, and I still haven't ordered more. You know, she'll wear here's the thing. She'll wear a shirt if I make her. But I don't want to make her. I want her to love what she's wearing. She doesn't have that many options to begin with. I want her to feel comfortable. She's 4 years old. Like, I want her to live her life. She'll wear a shirt if I make her, but I don't want to make her. So this morning I was like, you know what? I know it's clean. I just don't know where it is. So I just started like a raccoon digging through this. Oh no. I would love to be one of those people who stays on top of their laundry and, like, you know, a loaded day keeps the chaos away. Ah, that was counterproductive. That's not my strength. But you know what? I'm a really present mom, and I do a lot with my kids, and I show up for them with a lot of things, which means I have less time for monotonous tasks like this on the daily. Like, of course I make time for it. Should I come in here and do laundry at 10 o'clock at night when I'm done with the day and I'm ready to wind down and I have about 15 minutes to myself before I pass out? I say 10, but it's really closer to 11, 11:30, sometimes midnight. Depending on the day, it could be 9:30 if we're being honest. If I wake up, why am I wasting my time? If I wake up at 4:30 like I did this morning, I'm just like, what the heck? Can you guys sleep through the night? You know, one of my kids woke up and they were asking for water. Okay, I'll get you some water. And then I came back and I could have sworn on my life that I saw a light, like a flashlight or something. And so I started freaking out. I was looking through my phone, like through all the cameras in the house, like, what was that? Am I going crazy? Was there motion detected? Was I just seeing things? Like, I don't know. No one got up. I couldn't find anything. I finally tried to like get myself to go back to sleep, but then, you know, before I knew it, my alarm was going off. But that's been like a reoccurring thing, is when I started waking up like too early. My camera died. I don't know where I was, but 4:30 is slightly too early. I can deal with 5:30, even 5, but sometimes it's a bit too much. Also, like the worry.
in my head, and I just wake up and I just start thinking and worrying, and then I worry so much that I'm like wide awake and I can't go back to bed. I'm like, oh, worrying is like a rocking chair, if no one has ever told you this analogy. It gives you something to do, but it gets you nowhere. Someone tell my brain that, okay? Because honestly, it takes me down a path of many a winding road. All right, I'm gonna play a podcast and try to tackle this. I gotta gather some baskets. Some days are better than others. And a part of me is like, oh, the kids don't have school tomorrow. When they get home today, we can just make it a family activity, because we've done that before. Laundry day, where I just pile it in the living room and the kids sort through it and then they take their stuff to their rooms. But you know what? I'm gonna deal with this, give us a clean slate, because sometimes it's just nice when someone else cleans up after you. I mean, I wouldn't know the feeling, but like, oh, I can imagine, you know? Oh, and okay, one more thing. Since I don't have school tomorrow, we're going to treat this like a weekend night, I think. And we might do a family movie night tonight, which means it's Brownie Friday. So what brownies are we making? Because I'm pretty sure Inside Out 2 is on Disney Plus right now. I'm pumped. All right, let me get my podcast and baskets and I'm gonna knock it out. And knock it out I did. It actually took me just over 35 minutes to sort the laundry. But for your viewing pleasure, I have shrunk it down to just under 4 minutes. So you're welcome. I like to watch the pile just kind of deplete itself, get sorted out through the series of 4 minutes. I think it's so fun. And if only I could sort laundry this quickly in real life. But here's the thing about laundry. Like, it's just so time consuming. Whether you do one load at a time or 500 loads at a time, it's still the same amount of time. And I could argue that it takes less time if I do a whole bunch at once, because then, like, okay, let's say I have one load of laundry and, hold on, because my mind is going in 7 different directions. Some people say, oh, do one person's laundry at a time. Well, our laundry gets intertwined. You know, the kids take a bath in our bedroom and, you know, things. And then if I'm picking up around the house and I'll put it all together. So it's just the older girls are pretty good about keeping their laundry separate and they do it separately. The 2 older ones. The rest of us, maybe we'll get that way one day, but today's not that day. And so if I'm doing one load and there's 4 different people's laundry in it, I'm still going to all of their different rooms, putting it away. Do you know what I mean? So I would argue that takes more time than doing it all at once and then going to their room once. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? So essentially I'm saving myself some time letting it pile up like this and doing it all in one fell swoop. I kind of enjoy the before and after. It's quite satisfying. So this is just, I guess, how we're doing it. I've tried the one loaded day and I just can't stay on top of it. Try as I may. It'll be good for maybe a week or so, and then something happens and I, get behind them. At that point, I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow, and then whatever. The good news is most of it is clean, right? So if we need something, we'll just come in here and it's clean, and that's good. It's just finding it and all of that stuff. So it's always nice when this room is cleared out and I feel a weight is lifted and I get to, put all of their things away. I actually don't mind doing things like this. I know it can be monotonous and sometimes annoying and, I've got to get that done. It's just another thing on the list of things to do, and who actually wants to sit here and do it? But it is kind of nice to just pop on a podcast and listen to or pop on a video and get a task done while kind of doing something that I also enjoy, like listening to a podcast or something like that. It keeps my hands busy, and honestly, like, what a joy it is to be able to have this much laundry. I mean, on so many levels. Like, my kids are having fun. They're wearing clothes. They're doing stuff on the daily. And I'm just so happy to have them all in my life, truly. And so one day, I know the piles and piles of laundry will disappear all too fast, and I will, in fact, miss them profoundly. We've heard the quote before. Some days that quote resonates with me, and other days I'm like, ugh, laundry, So this is one of those days that certain things happen in your life where you just feel so grateful. Like I was telling you earlier, Alex has a friend whose wife recently passed away, and it's just so tragic. Life can be so tragic. We've recently had a loss in the family, and it just really puts things into perspective. And for me, it really just makes me realize how wonderful life is and how grateful I am to have what I have. And who am I to complain about laundry? You know, we're lucky.
I just say way too much. I went in for one bite and half the cookie. Where? Someone ate my cookie.
Oh my God, someone ate my entire pie.
Who ate it? You know, I'm trying to eat healthier, and then I just really need to stop buying crumble, but it was their birthday week. It's like, what am I supposed to do? Say no? There's no fun in saying no. That's about my attention span with the laundry. I could keep going. I'm just like running out of gas, and I'm looking around my house and like, I should clean this. I should clean that. I should be planning for his birthday party. I should empty the dishwasher, but then I'm like, well, the kids can do this when they get home, and they can put their laundry away when they get home. And typically I'll do like the towels, and then too much. I do want them to come home to a tidy spot. By the way, the Crockpot is working. I have a huge crater on my face. I say it all the time. It should be illegal to get pimples when you have wrinkles. Check out this closet. Cue the spooky music. All right, let's turn the light on so you can actually see what's happening. Hey! We've seen worse, right? It's actually not that bad, I feel like. Like, that's an empty box. There's a bunch of grocery bags on the ground. I don't know what this is filled with, but it needs to get out of here because it has become a dumping ground. And then the bins back there, Jay, they just aren't working out the way I envisioned when I put those together. No. Sometimes I think, did I make the right choice putting these drawers in here and getting rid of all the hooks on the wall? Because I feel like that helped keep stuff off of the floor. And now this is just chaos. So, it is time, sisters, to tackle this and get my life in order. I've just really let myself go, you know? Plus, whenever someone's like, hey, do you have a broom? I'm like, no, man, sorry, I don't actually. We just let the dog lick it up. And now if someone asks, hey, do you have a broom? I will tell them I absolutely do. Check under the stairs closet. And now I won't be embarrassed having them try to open this and not be bombarded by chaos and clutter and hoarding and an avalanche, all the things. I wouldn't even call this hoard. It's just like our dumping ground. It's one of our dumping grounds. You'll find that's part of my shtick, okay? Give me a closet and I'll fill it up. And, you know, I'm trying not to be that way. And, you know, as time goes by, I find the time to deal with it. But on the daily, I'm like, ugh, you know, I'll get to it eventually. Oh, just throw it in there. If we have people coming over, oh, that's a miss. Let me just throw it in here real quick. So it's one thing at a time. Oh, how could you let your house get that bad? Oh, well, one day at a time. I'll tell you that. One throw of a bag at a time is how it gets that way. And then, you know what they say? I actually don't know what they say. Something about how clutter feeds on itself and creates more clutter. It's not the expression, but it's something like that. If something's messy and you have, okay, so let me give you a scenario. Say my closet, it is messy because it is. And if I had a bag to put away in there, well, I'm not going to siphon through all this stuff and put the bag in the drawer. I'm just going to throw it in the closet. And so that's what I mean. So clutter is nothing more than postponed decisions. And now I'm having to deal with the consequences of my poor decision making. And you know what you live and you make choices, and is this a bad choice? It's fine. It's like behind a closed door. And if you ask me, it's totally fine. So I was going through these drawers and realizing, wow, why do I have so many grocery bags? I don't know. I do love them. So, and I found this Harvard one and it just made me so happy. I was like, oh, that's so perfect because Avelina is going into high school next year, even though I feel like 8th grade just started. You got to think ahead and make plans for the future and all that good stuff. So anyway, we've been talking about college. I mean, we always talk about college, right? It's good to have those discussions and have goals and aspirations. And so she has known for a while that she has wanted to go to an Ivy League school. So we've kind of been, Googling and researching different ones and which one is the best option for her and which one seems the most all of the things. And so Princeton has been brought up. Yale, of course, has been brought up. Why did you drop out of Yale? If you watch Gilmore Girls, you totally understand that. And so Harvard has also been brought up. And oh my gosh, I found that Harvard bag and I
amazing. Of course, I got it from the thrift store. It says Harvard alumni. I love that. I'm a total fraud. But anyway, I love grocery bags and I'm not getting rid of a single one, and you can't make me. I actually got rid of 2 today because, you know, if I'm gifting something to someone, I'll put it in a bag and they can just have the bag. I've got plenty more, you know? And next time I go to the thrift store, you better believe I will likely look at the grocery bags. I don't think I've bought any new ones in a while. So I am due for some more, and it's totally fine because I love them and they bring me so much joy. And I'm trying to only get the ones that are really cool, but sometimes they come in a bundle. So it's like not my fault. If there's a couple that are really cool, or at least one, I'll buy the whole bundle, which may have like 4, 5, 6 in there. It might have 2, might have 1 if it's extremely cool. Okay, I did end up hanging this hook back on the wall. And I had the nails there from when I did the wallpaper. I took this off and I just threw it like up on top of the shelf. And I wasn't sure if I was going to I could have done it through the wallpaper. But thankfully I didn't, because the wallpaper just ended up falling down, if you remember that happening. I mean, I spent so much money on that wallpaper and I spent a lot of time putting it up. Apparently I didn't do it the right way. Like, I don't know how what I could have done differently. It just started peeling off, and before I knew it, the weight of the world was on the wallpaper shoulders, and this room was boring again. I still have wallpaper to hang up in my daughter's bathroom, and I want to add the character and I want to do that, but oh my gosh, I didn't order enough, which is one issue, and then hiring someone to put it up, because clearly I don't have the skills needed to do that. But then I'm like, well, figure it out. Like, I can just figure it out. But can I figure it out? Because I tried it in here and it didn't work out. And I wasted literally hundreds of dollars on just this little section. So, I don't know. And that's another reason why I got those drawers that are completely see-through that I don't even really like, because of the color of the wallpaper. It totally matched those drawers and it was kind of perfect, but kind of not, because I can see through them. And I am not the type of person who needs to see what's inside. I want to conceal it. I want to hide it. That's exactly why it's in the closet in the first place, you know? So that's on my list of things to do, is to just get different drawers. But I haven't been to IKEA in a while. I guess I need to make a trip.
Et voila! It is complete, kind of. I mean, as with any big project, not that this is a big project, that made me laugh, but there is a lot to contend with. So this, obviously need to recycle that. That's all garbage. We've done the KiwiCo crates. I just keep them and I don't know why. So this is just filled with garbage. I'm gonna put the hamper somewhere. This goes in the garage. The box is garbage. The tripods can go in my office. This I'm gonna throw in a car. I have my shoes to put away. You guys know that's my pet peeve about myself. I leave my shoes everywhere. And then, I mean, it makes sense. I come in from outside, I put my purse up, I throw my shoes in there. It's fine. It's not really that big of a deal. Halloween stuff in here, hats go in my closet, and that one goes upstairs. So it's not that big of a deal, but in here feels, I mean, obviously you can literally take a step in here without climbing over stuff. I hung up all the brooms and such. My vacuum is here. My Bissell is in the garage. I gotta clean that out. Remind me to do that one of these days. I've been mopping because I'm avoiding cleaning it out, but someone told me if I wait long enough without cleaning it out, it all gets really hard and crusty, and that is really easy to clean out. So that's the point in which I'm waiting for that to happen. I love that. Some of them are upstairs, so I'm gonna bring them down. And then I did go through the drawers in here, and like, you know, it's working. It's all contained and confined, and I like it. And I did end up hanging this back up. I'm wanting to keep it clear, but I know the reality. So I think it'll be really helpful. Gone is my wallpaper, which makes me really sad, but that's life.
I feel a huge weight has lifted since I cleaned that. It's just so nice to, again, super satisfying. If you want to be satisfied, just let a closet go and then spend your afternoon tidying it up. It didn't take me that long at all. And isn't it funny when you put off a task? Oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Oh, that's going to take me a while. And then when you finally do it, how long does it actually take you? You know, like, oh, why did I put this off for so long? Obviously, we all have our reasons and justifications, but I just thought it was silly that it took me so long to finally do it. And once it's done, it just feels so much nicer opening that. So we'll see how long it takes for it to look like that again. Probably around the holidays. That's my assumption, because that's when I, buy gifts and all that stuff. And then I have to put them somewhere. So that seems to be my dumping ground for, you know, the holiday season and stuff like that. Moving on to my kitchen, which is a place that gets a messy several times a day. And I'm so glad that I found those little pumpkins, and happy to report, talking about Wolfgang's birthday party, his not so spooky Halloween party. And I got to tell you, I feel like I made a mistake when I said not so spooky, because man, all the Halloween decorations that I'm seeing that are spooky. And I'm like, oh, this would be so cool. I've never thrown a Halloween party before, and I'm not holding back on this one, I feel like. And I am pretty excited about it because I just made my Amazon order yesterday, which was, yes. And I also ran to Home Goods at the end of this day with Avelina and Eleanor, and we found some of the coolest decorations. I almost got a witch. She was like my size, and then I talked myself out of it. I also found this huge, amazing tombstone cutout. Oh, that one was so cool, but it was $200. And I really debated. I was like, well, I'm going to have it for the rest of my life. Like, maybe. I was trying to talk myself into it. And then every time I thought about the price tag, I was like, just forget it. Like, $200, that's a bit extreme. So I left it. And then there was something else for around $100. And I thought it was really cool for a party. It was like picture a lemonade stand, but Halloween style. I know, isn't that cool? It had a like fun ghost on it. It had some bats on it. Oh, it was the ultimate. But I ultimately decided against it because, again, I just thought $100 for this. Like, I'm going to use it once maybe. And maybe I'll use it every Halloween. But is it really functional? Like, what? I don't know. So I left that, but I did end up getting a few other things that I am excited about. So I think it's going to be a good time, a good party, and I really need to settle in with the plans and get out my pen and paper and do something about it because I think I have way too much going on. I bought a lot of arts and crafts. I'm like, who is even coming? I don't even know. It might just be our family. And even if it is just, you know, our family here, like I'm talking like Alex, me, and the kids, it's still gonna be a smashing good time. And I don't even care if no one shows up. It's gonna be awesome. But that's how I go into planning every party. I think even if it's just us, that's okay. Like, that's good enough for me. I say that and I go extremely overboard on party. I go into it thinking, oh, it's just no big deal. And then it turns into a thing, and I just can't stop myself. There's no stopping this train. I was a party planner in my previous life, and honestly, I feel like I'm not even that great at doing the party planning thing. Nothing is too extravagant. I do go above and beyond, but man, I have seen like really above and beyond things happen. So it's just I do my thing and I have fun with it. And I know this year, the older two, at least, aren't having like a huge thing, which I'll probably make it bigger than it should be. Like I'll get some stuff for it. But Wentworth is undecided. Like last year, he had his at a skating rink, so that was pretty low key. And I don't know what's coming up. And you gotta celebrate every day is what I'm trying to say. And that's just what I'm trying to do. And I haven't had a Halloween party before, and I'm really pumped about it. Okay, there's no stopping me. I've moved on to putting some laundry away. This is another part of the task that I'm like, okay, let me do this. I will say I love the way I've been folding the clothes lately. I used to just dump them in there, find shirts in one, shorts in another, but it's so much nicer to go the extra mile and spend the extra, depending on how many clothes, 5 to 10 minutes, maybe less, maybe more, folding them like this so you can see what's happening. And the shirts, okay, so I will say for different kids, it works in different ways. For most of them, it works fine. Wentworth, specifically his shorts drawer, doesn't last. And yeah, obviously he goes through a lot of them. So those are the ones that I have found have started like falling over, but his shirts are totally fine. It's his shorts. So I don't know if it's the texture of his shorts that just kind of slip and slide all over the place, or if he doesn't have enough to like hold them all up. But anyway, Everything else has been working out great. And I just put away Wolfgang's and Meredith's. And then when the bigger kids got home, I said, hey, here are your clothes, and they can put them away. I helped Wentworth with his because, sometimes it's just a tricky folding system until he gets the hang of it. But check out this before and after. Absolutely amazing. Hope that gives you some motivation.
We did a little shrinky dink activity. Right now, Alex is with Meredith doing a KiwiCo crate, which is pretty cool if you ask me. But this is how big the shrinky dink starts out as. And then here it is when it's finished. And it comes with some ribbon. It does get a little thicker, so it's not, going to break. But it doesn't come with ribbon. It comes with string. So you can make like a little necklace or a bracelet or hang it somewhere, whatever. So I think I'm gonna make this for breakfast tomorrow. It looks really good. And maybe I'll make this for dessert, some hot cocoa, but I really think I'm going to make, which way are they? These for dessert. These Christmas brownies, I typically only make them for Christmas, but today's a special occasion. So I think I'm gonna make them today.
Yes, I definitely did. But you know what Alex said? Oh, I hope you make some good brownies. He is such a fan of just the plain Ghirardelli brownies. So the bigger kids came in here and helped put those together while I worked on the specialty brownies. I don't care. Like, these are so good. And I ended up giving half of them with the dinner that I made because everyone wants dessert, right? So I did that. It starts with 2 cups of sugar, 4 eggs, and I mix that all together. No worries. I had a half cup measuring cup. I know some people are like, you did, like they'll assume that I had a certain measuring cup and that I added way more than it called for, but no worries there. Mix that together and then go to the stovetop, 1 cup of butter. So 2 sticks of butter and let that melt on the stovetop. And while that's melting, I added flour to the egg and sugar mixture. I think it was 1.5 teaspoon of baking powder and 1.5 cups of flour. And so to my melted butter, I'm adding 1/4 cup or 4 tablespoons of cocoa powder, also a little splash of vanilla extract. And then I take that mixture and add it to the batter. And I mix that together. And while I was making this, since I really typically only make it once a year for the holidays, I was like, is this normal? This is so weird. I don't remember any of this. No, it came out perfectly fine. So the recipe calls for like a sheet pan essentially, but I always put it in the largest dish that I have. This is like a 15 by 17 inch dish or something like that. I used to have a bigger one, but I cannot find it anywhere. I don't know if I left it at a party or something, which is most likely, but I can't find it. So that's on my list of things to get next time I'm out and about. I cooked that in the oven, 350 for about 30 minutes since it's larger. And really I probably went about 40 minutes. This is the 3rd layer, the frosting. So I melted 2 more sticks of butter, another 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, which I got everywhere. I'm adding a 1/3 cup of milk. And I think that's it. No, the powdered sugar. Okay, melt that all together, mix it. It's almost hot cocoa, but we're making frosting instead. And then I'm adding 3.5 cups of powdered sugar. This, cavity in a bite. However you want to say that. This gives me cavities just looking at it, just smelling it. So good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. This is why I really only make this once a year during the holidays because it's just too good. So when they come out of the oven, I throw a bag of mini marshmallows on top and just let it sit, let it melt. As the brownies cool, the marshmallows will kind of melt to the brownies. And then I throw the frosting on top. Oh, heaven. These are heaven. Alex doesn't like that. I'm like, are you nuts? Are you crazy? This is so good. They're my favorite, and that's why I try to keep them sacred for the holidays. But, sometimes it's like Christmas in July or something like that, and I can't wait for the holidays. And then I throw the frosting on top, throw it in the fridge. Okay, I've moved on. I'll show you what they look like at the end. Moved on to dinner. And I'm doing like a pesto sauce. I got these pastas from Home Goods or TJ Maxx, somewhere like that. I just love them. I love a different shape and texture to a pasta. And I'm seasoning the water with salt. You got to make it taste like salt water, okay? I learned that when I was cooking in Italy, and that's how they do it over there, okay? And they're the pasta queen/king. So for the pesto sauce, I melted a couple tablespoons of butter. I'm adding some heavy whipping cream to it. Just eyeball it, quarter cup, whatever you want. And then I added this entire jar of pesto sauce. You could do straight up pesto, but I find that that's a little too much, okay? You just kind of, give it a little more. I forgot to film this part, but I did take some pasta water and I added that to the sauce mixture just to thin it out and really help the starchy water bond to the starchy pasta. It's just a great way to make it stick. And I'm throwing in the pasta into the sauce. I'm keeping some pasta on the side just in case some people don't want the sauce. I did cook up some chicken, seasoned it really simply with Italian seasoning, salt and pepper, cooked it in a little bit of olive oil. So simple. This is one of my go-to dishes. Since I was making the sweet pulled pork enchiladas, I realized there may not be enough for all of us, so I ended up just throwing that together, and it's just a quick, easy meal that I always have. Here is the sweet pulled pork out of the crock pot, and it just kind of falls apart, okay? And that's how tender you want it. I separate it into the carb balanced tortillas. Love those. And then I just sprinkle a little bit of cheese on top. And there is pork left over. And I typically put that into a little container and they can just eat it if they want with like rice or something for lunch. And then at the bottom of the pan, I do green enchilada sauce. You can do the juice from the sweet pulled pork like in here in the crock pot. You can do that. But I just really... you have to open it to put it on the top anyway, so I just do it on the bottom. And this was a really shallow dish, but I put cheese on here. I made a mistake, but you're supposed to cover this with enchilada sauce. So I realized I made a mistake and fixed it. You know what I've done before? Not added cheese to the top. So, it's just like, fine, whatever. It's food and you can fix it. And so I move that around, make sure it's nice and evenly spread. And then I use some more cheese to top it with. I cook it in the oven, 425 for about 20 minutes or so until everything's nice and bubbly. I let this one go a little too long and I top it with cilantro. It just gives it so much more flavor. I love it personally. And here it is. Dinner is served. It's one of my favorite all-time meals of all time. And I think if you try it, you'll really like it too. Here are the brownies finished up after I kept them in the fridge overnight. You can't see layers on the side. I feel like I kind of overcooked the brownie, but it's fine. It's dessert. And how can it be bad, honestly? Except for that one time when I used flour instead of powdered sugar in a dessert. That was a monumental mistake. But here's the inside. It just looks so good. Those 3 layers are fantastic. Nothing bad about this. I don't know why Alex doesn't like it. Honestly, Ghirardelli does give it a run for its money, but this just has a little bit more interest. Hey, I forgot to tell you about the movie we watched during family movie night. Inside Out 2 was on Disney Plus, so we turned that on. And I told you before, Alex brought the kids, but I was unable to see it. He brought the kids to the theater when it first came out. I hung back with the baby. Oh my gosh, what a wonderful movie that is. I think it's just so great. I love that we're getting new emotions as we're getting older, like the construction up there and how all of the emotions play off of each other and are intertwined. And man, if you haven't seen Inside Out or Inside Out 2, what a great movie. Great for all ages, truly, because it helps you understand the emotions that are going inside your body. But that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Element, drinkelement.com/thewads, and I will see you next time. Bye.